Hi everyone, and welcome back to a little bit of a July Boojo setup. Now, this month, if you haven't seen my previous video with the little announcement, this month I am joining as a co-host the Resetathon, which is hosted by Hermie over at the Book Hermit and Beatrice over at Beatrice's Book Nook. So this month is going to be mostly based on that. Obviously, we're still going to have our normal setup with all of the books that I read is going to get set up and all of the yearly readathons that I do. If I'm being honest, I've sort of slacked off on the yearly readathons. So I think I might have to actually go back and see which books actually fit the prompts that are needing to be filled out. Might be a bit of a challenge, but we'll see how we go. If you do not know what Resetathon is, it is a Resetathon hosted for the entire month of July. It's even started a little bit earlier because we have Pre-Setathon. It's basically a month where we focus on mental health, on summer vibes, on obviously reading as well. And Hermie and Beatrice have made this their baby, and this is the third round actually that they're hosting. So it basically gives you three types of prompts. You have the mental health and gratitude prompts, you have the reading prompts or the book prompts, and then you also have the summer prompts, which honestly is great. Now, as you guys can see, the new addition for this year is an actual bingo board. Now, if you know me, you know I love a good bingo board. I think it's a really easy way to get people to be involved in a readathon. It's very basic, it's very easy. Now, they made two bingo boards. They made one with the words, and then you can see they made one with little icons. So my thought was, I'm gonna cut out the pictures, and then once I get going on this bingo board, I'm actually going to paste those pictures on that bingo board. So that way I'm gonna see if all the pictures are filled in, if I get a bingo or not. Also, something that I decided to do differently, I think this is my second Resetathon setup that you're going to be seeing. I'll link my previous one in the description somewhere or on the screen here. If you've seen my previous one, you've seen that I only had one Tetris board. Yes, this readathon uses Tetris pieces to make you or keep you motivated and keep you moving along and get you to actually participate in all of the prompts. So this year I decided to actually use three different Tetris boards. Now I saw this on Hermie's setup. I think they did a setup of their Boojo in the last setup or like the last round of the Resetathon. And I saw them do this and I thought it was actually genius, because one of the things that kept me from actually filling out my Tetris boards was knowing that if I actually added every single Tetris piece, my Tetris board was going to be filled within a week. So obviously, I want the most fun to get out of this Resetathon. So what I decided is, you know what? I'm going to take a page out of Hermie's book, and I'm actually going to make three little Tetris boards that are each coinciding with one of the main categories. So as you're seeing here on the left side, I'm actually doing the books and reading prompts. Now you can see there's a little bit of space left on the left side of the page, like the most left side of the page. And my thought was to basically paste in a little bit of little book covers on the side of the books that I read to actually fulfill the prompts. There are a few that I already know I'm going to read, like the buddy reading. We're doing Crescent City. There's still the final Hunger Games, the Sunrise and the Reaping that we have to finish. So those are definitely covers that are going to be on there, which we are going to be doing. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I am so here for this. Right now it is still way too hot in my opinion. I like summer, but I do not like the heat. So July, August, a bit of a challenge for me those months, but this Resetathon is hopefully gonna make it a whole lot easier. As you can see, I've written out all of the prompts that I can actually fulfill, and then once we fulfill it, we get a Tetris piece, put it on the Tetris board, and then so on and so forth. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The little announcement videos that Bee and Hermie made are going to be down in the description box below. Please do check them out, as well as the list of all of the other co-hosts that are joining us in this round. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of sprints. There's going to be a lot of fun. It's all about, like I mentioned in my previous video, mental health, having fun, taking stock, and just staying close to what we need, which I think now that we are entering the second half of the year is actually going to be a perfect fit. Now what you're going to see in the second half of this video is actually two other readathons that I'm going to be joining. The first readathon that I'm going to be joining is the Tarot Readathon. Now this is the second year I think I'm joining, and it's again a readathon, pretty self-explanatory. You pick a tarot card out of a tarot deck, and then you just see what prompt that relates to, and then you read that book that correlates to that prompt. As you can see, I picked the Wands category to join in this readathon, and I just felt like it fit. It's about going on adventures, and you get extra points that way. Or you can just switch out a prompt, which I think is going to be handy because of the fact that I'm doing three readathons. I'm going to be grabbing my actual tarot deck. I did look it up on Etsy, so the actual video or the actual link to the Etsy shop is going to be in the description below. They're beautiful cards, and I decided to actually pick a card right along with you guys here. So I think the one I draw is the Star. And the Star basically meant that I'm gonna have to be reading a manga or a graphic novel. If you've seen my July TBR or like my July plans for Resetathon, that's probably gonna get to be Heartstopper, just because I haven't gotten around to it, and it's actually available in my local library, which to me is only pluses. So that is the readathon that I'm going to be doing, as well as the Vox Machina-thon. Now, if you know me, you know I'm actually a massive nerd. We've actually decided to set up a little bit of a D&D party ourselves in the Discord. This just happened on sprints, and one of the lovely people that obviously also or always is joining us on sprints, which is the lovely Paula, she has decided that she's gonna actually make us a little bit of a D&D campaign, which, I mean, I'm so excited about this, you have no idea. If you do not know what Vox Machina is, it's basically a live stream D&D campaign, like Dungeons and Dragons campaign, turned into the biggest franchise of D&D ever, from Critical Role, that now has a Amazon Prime series as well as a second one that's coming up. So yeah, it's not a little thing. If you want to go and enjoy some lovely new show, obviously check Vox Machina out. I think it's awesome, and I'm currently slowly making my way through campaign 2 if anyone is interested. So those also have just a few prompts. There's not many, there's only 6, but this one just, again, during sprints I figured this one out, that this one was happening, so I very quickly added it to my Boojo. So this one just kind of got thrown into the mix last minute, which is why it's very simple, this whole setup that I made. Yeah, so these are just gonna be the 3 readathons that I'm gonna be joining in the month of July. So these are the readathons that obviously got set up. It's gonna be a whole fun reading month, I think. Obviously also keeping with the spirit of Resetathon, I'm just not going to put pressure on myself, even with the whole Tarot Readathon and the Vox Machina-thon. I don't think they're actually asking you to read that much. You can double up on prompts with Vox Machina, I think. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. I'm going to stay true to Resetathon and do things at my own pace and just make sure that I take care of me. So that's going to be it for today's video. A little bit of a shorter one, but there's going to be a big one coming up in the next week. Next week, you can actually expect my gigantic feature film length video, which is going to be the Hunger Games read-along, which is basically just going to be a video of me reading every single one of the Hunger Games books. So you can look forward to that. Wish me luck, because it's going to take a whole bunch of editing. And I will talk to you guys when that drops. Wish me luck, and I'll see you soon. Bye.